10 things normal in the US that are strange in other places. If you choose to become a world traveler, you will soon learn that although people share similar needs and wishes, they have devised different methods to fulfill them. We tend to overlook everyday occurrences we are used to, but when you step away from your usual environment and get acquainted with a different culture, you will notice various peculiarities that are not part of your everyday life. It can be strange at times, but mostly very enjoyable. Here are 10 things that are dissimilar from living in the USA. Number 10. Pharmaceutical advertising. If you've ever been to Europe and watched TV for a bit, you may have noticed some key differences in the formatting, aside from any language barriers. Firstly, in Europe, advertising is done in hour-long blocks, rather than repeatedly cutting into a show or movie, which is great, as you don't have to miss anything of your favorite program. You may also have noticed that commercials for cars and pharmaceuticals are not aired. This is because, aside from the USA and New Zealand, direct-to-consumer marketing for pharmaceuticals, including TV commercials, is illegal in most countries. It's refreshing not to encounter all the potential side effects that could accompany treatments for everything from preventing hair loss to managing depression to curing any number of illnesses. The listed effects often appear more intimidating than the original affliction. At times, they may seem to involve the risk of death or cancer. This is an odd prospect, making one ponder why such products are even allowed to be sold. It's like the tactics used by snake oil salesmen in the past. The world would be a better place if these goods were only distributed to doctors and other healthcare professionals. Number 9. Garbage disposal. The garbage disposal in your kitchen sink may not be as eco-friendly as you think. Its fibrous waste can end up clogging the pipes of outdated sewage systems. What's more, many people put things down the disposal that really shouldn't be there, like coffee grounds or eggshells, which you may have discovered the hard way if your pipes ever got clogged. All of that water is recycled and reused via treatment plants, meaning all the things you've washed down the sink, disposal or not, are going back into the water supply. Treatment can only remove so much, so it's important to consider what you're putting down the sink. An Australian study has revealed that disposing of food down the garbage disposal could be up to 3 times more damaging than putting it in a landfill. In fact, they are outlawed in many European countries. Even New York City is debating whether they should still be allowed. Number 8. Shady product price labels. We are all aware that when we go to pay for our groceries at the supermarket or grocery store, the amount we have to pay is usually higher than what we had calculated while shopping. Tax and sometimes even extra charges come as a surprise to us. Most of us don't want to do the math or are not even aware of the percentage of taxes and other charges. So when the amount to pay increases by a few or many dollars, we hand over our card or cash with a sigh. Why not follow the example of the EU? There, all charges, including tax, must be included in the price tag on the item or the shelf. As a result, there are no nasty surprises. Furthermore, when you use a credit or debit card, you won't be charged extra. It might be time for the USA to adopt the same policies as our European counterparts. Number 7. Supersized food portions. Have you ever requested the bigger order of fries at a fast food joint? It's likely happened to you at least once. Fries are so heavenly, it's no surprise that everyone loves to hunt for the last few in the bag. It's just a part of the fun that comes with eating fries. Many Europeans find it difficult to comprehend the large portions of food that are standard in our culture. For example, supersizing a meal is seen as an outlandish idea, and it is not surprising that obesity is increasing when people are eating such immense amounts. If freedom involves doing whatever you please, you must take responsibility for the outcomes. Number 6. How are you? As a hello greeting. How are you? Is a popular substitute for hello in the US. You likely hear and utter it multiple times a day, excluding the present circumstances when many of us are avoiding going out due to the pandemic. As you walk down the street and make eye contact with a stranger, you can't help but smile and say the phrase. Most likely, you will receive the same response, not expecting any reply. It would be quite a surprise if you got an answer. In Europe, people are more likely to give a full account of their day when asked how they are doing. They also expect a similar response from you, so it is considered rude if you don't answer with a narrative of your own. Therefore, if you are traveling to Europe, remember to use a more elaborate greeting than just hello unless you want to be caught up in lots of unexpected conversations. Number 5. Free drink refills. How many Cokes do you consume with a single meal? You pay for one, yet it's not uncommon to have more than one. Quite a few of us are guilty of drinking 2 or more. The offer is there, why not take advantage? We usually get a supersized meal, so why not go all out? This is something that is not done in other countries, especially in Europe. you always have to pay for each beverage you drink. Therefore, don't be shocked if the bill reflects the 6 Cokes you drank. Europeans are also surprised by the amount of ice we put in our drinks. Number 4. Red Solo Cups. Toby Keith's Red Solo Cup, unedited version, is an iconic song in the US, and its popularity is evidenced by the fact that it has over 61 million views. These disposable cups are so well known that everyone probably has some stocked in their kitchen or pantry, ready to be used at a moment's notice. The cups are famous only within the USA, and it is unlikely that you can find them outside the States. This is probably because in many other countries, alcohol regulations are more relaxed, so there is no need to hide what you are drinking in public. Number 3. Tipping. The practice of tipping in the US is a shock to many foreigners. It's strange for them to think that customers are actually paying the salaries of employees. Even if the service is unsatisfactory, customers are still expected to leave something. We're used to just paying it. In contrast, Europe includes a service fee in the cost of the meal, and in Japan and South Korea, tips are seen as offensive. When they visit the US, they may be surprised to have to pay a tip on top of the bill. Have you ever gone somewhere and tried to tip somebody, only to have them give your money back looking really perplexed? The author has learned through experience to not tip taxi drivers in some areas of Central America. It's best to look into the tipping customs of where you are traveling to, so as not to cause any offense. Number 2. To-go coffee. We would be lost without our on-the-go coffees when we're hurrying to work or taking an afternoon break. Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts wouldn't be nearly as popular without that precious dark liquid we can get through the drive-thru. If there is anything that truly unites us as a nation, it is our appreciation of and craving for convenience. We want it immediately and exactly to our specifications. Nothing else better symbolizes this attitude than our coffee to go. In contrast to other parts of the globe, coffee in many places is a leisurely experience, enjoyed while conversing with a friend or listening to a melodic symphony from a ceramic mug, not a plastic or styrofoam cup. In Italy, the origin of espresso, it is an occasion done hastily at the spot of purchase, without much more significance than a caffeine boost. Instead of buying pre-made coffee, try making your own with a French press. It's just as quick as making tea, and much more delicious than an automatic drip machine. Moreover, you can customize it however you want. Number 1. Having huge gaps under stalls in public bathrooms. We've all had that thought at one point or another, they can see me. Taking a trip to the public restroom is never pleasant, and for women attending an event, long lines are often the norm. Though it's an unfortunate requirement, we all realize that when you gotta go, you gotta go. Those gaps between the walls and the door and the floor, only make matters worse, as you can spot people moving around outside, and even catch glimpses of your neighbor's feet in this vulnerable moment. It's not exactly a calming experience. In Europe, if you're after a public restroom, you'll be completely shielded from view. The partitions reach all the way down to the floor and there are no noticeable openings between the door and the walls. However, be prepared to pay a small fee to use the restroom. No, this isn't a charge for privacy, it's for upkeep, which is only reasonable. Perhaps if American restrooms had a fee too, they would be kept much cleaner? In certain places worldwide, a bidet may be present in lieu of toilet paper. It is a prevalent way of hygiene and really helps to decrease waste. Plus, in many places it's considered improper to flush toilet paper, so you should always dispose of it in the bin. Thanks for watching.